You are Robert Downey Jr., and you were born in Manhattan, New York City, United States, in 1965. Your father, Robert Downey Sr., was an avant-garde filmmaker whose chaotic lifestyle included heavy drug use. And your mother, Elsie, was an actress, quietly battling alcoholism. From the very beginning, your life was immersed in instability and false creativity that masked deep dysfunction. At the age of 5, you made your acting debut in your father's experimental film Pound, where you played a puppy in a bizarre production that felt more like survival than art. The family moved constantly, living in Greenwich Village, Woodstock, London, New Mexico, and California, exposing you to rootless existence and constant upheaval. By the age of 8, your father had already introduced you to marijuana and alcohol under the guise of bonding, which planted seeds of addiction that would ruin decades of your life. Your parents' marriage collapsed in divorce when you were 13, forcing you to pick sides in a war of two addicted adults. You dropped out of Santa Monica High School at 17 to chase acting in Los Angeles with no safety net and only blind ambition. Early roles arrived in Weird Science and Less Than Zero, where your chilling performance as a cocaine addict was authentic because it mirrored your own hidden reality. You joined Saturday Night Live at 20, but the backstage excess only accelerated your growing dependency on substances. By 22, you were deep in addiction, using drugs to numb the pressure of early fame and inner emptiness. Your breakthrough arrived at 27 with the role of Charlie Chaplin, earning an Oscar nomination. Yet the acclaim could not silence the chaos inside. You married Deborah Falconer in 1992 and welcomed son Indio the next year. But the drugs turned what should have been joy into constant conflict. Arrests began in 1996 for possession and parole violations, marking the start of a very public downward spiral. At 34, you received a 3-year prison sentence, spending humiliating months behind bars, losing freedom, career, and any remaining family trust. The lowest point came when you were fired from Ally McBeal in 2001 after yet another failed drug test, exposing how close you were to total ruin. Sobriety finally stuck in 2003 at 38 after court-ordered rehab and years of painful self-confrontation that stripped away false friends. You met producer Susan Levin on a film set and married her in 2005, discovering rare stability after so much damage. Iron Man in 2008 at 43 transformed you into a global superstar, launching a billion-dollar franchise. But the sudden fame brought intense scrutiny and isolation. The Marvel success made you one of the highest-paid actors in history, yet every contract reminded you of the years wasted in cells. You had 2 more children, Exton in 2012 and Avery in 2014, attempting redemption while carrying guilt from past absences. By 50, the weight of constant public image and therapy sessions revealed how fame had amplified rather than healed your demons. Your performance in Oppenheimer at 58 earned the long-awaited Oscar in 2023. But the victory tasted bittersweet, reflecting on decades stolen by addiction. Now at 60, you prepare to play Dr. Doom, still chasing reinvention in the same industry that once discarded you. The fame brought billions and trophies, but never erased the emptiness of a childhood robbed by substances and parental neglect. Every red carpet smile hid the bitterness of knowing success requires sacrificing relationships and years of freedom. Your father's death in 2021 left unresolved scars no amount of wealth could mend. The industry exploited your talent during dark times, then celebrated the comeback only when it became profitable. The compromises included accepting typecasting as the troubled genius and living under constant fear of relapse. Your entire life became a cycle of second chances most people never receive, yet each one demanded heavier personal costs. The price of this glory is the inability to trust anyone fully, including yourself, in lonely penthouses. Success did not bring peace, only a larger stage for the same inner battles to continue. The boy who started in Pound never escaped the chaos he was born into. This is your entire life. The brutal rise, the devastating fall, and the reluctant return to a spotlight you both craved and cursed forever. The early exposure to drugs warped your perception, making normal childhood impossible from day one. Every new city meant new schools and new ways to hide your growing habits secretly. The divorce forced you to grow up too fast, choosing between broken parents daily. Dropping out felt like freedom, but led straight into deeper uncertainty and risk. The SNL days showed the dark underbelly, where drugs flowed freely backstage, constantly. Your less than zero role was a warning everyone, including yourself, chose to ignore. The Chaplin nomination brought opportunities, but expectations that pushed addiction even deeper underground. Marriage to Deborah seemed like salvation, but relapses turned it into a nightmare battlefield. Prison at 34 was the brutal reality check that exposed the wreckage of choices. Being fired from Ally McBeal became the final wake-up call that actually stuck after denial. Sobriety required losing old friends and facing the pain caused to son Indio directly. Meeting Susan was the turning point, but trust remained hard after years of damage. Iron Man's success was ironic as Tony Stark mirrored your own redemption perfectly. The franchise brought billions, but endless pressure to stay perfect publicly always. Raising more kids offered redemption, yet past mistakes always loomed large over everything. The Oppenheimer Oscar felt like full circle from the Chaplin nomination decades earlier. Preparing for Dr. Doom shows resilience, but the never-ending need to prove yourself remains. The bitter truth is fame amplified demons, rather than silencing them completely ever. Family gatherings stayed awkward reminders of years lost to rehab and court dates. The public sees the charismatic star, but never the man fighting daily urges still. Hollywood forgiveness arrived only when bankability returned, not from genuine cares ever. The compromises included turning down roles during dark times and accepting typecasting quietly. Your life has been a series of second chances paid dearly with personal costs always. The price of success is life in spotlight, with no room for weakness ever. Even now the melancholy lingers because the boy from Pound never truly escaped. The constant moves made you feel rootless and alone, even as small child. Father's bonding with joints warped your view of love and family forever completely. Divorce at 13 tore you apart, forcing adult choices too early always. Dropping out at 17 was rebellion that nearly destroyed future before starting. SNL. Excess masked growing addiction that everyone pretended not to notice publicly. Chaplin role proved talent, but behind scenes you spiraled out of control fast. Arrests in 90s were public humiliations tabloids loved exploiting for headlines daily. Rock bottom in prison was wake up too late for many lost opportunities. Sobriety at 38 meant losing friends and facing damage caused to everyone. New marriage brought
really
anger,
is.
but scars from past haunted every single moment. Marvel Empire made you star, but pressure and isolation weighed heavy constantly. More Children brought joy mixed with fear of repeating painful family history. At 58, Oscar win reminded you of time wasted in cells instead. Now at 60, demons still lurk, waiting for one moment of weakness.